Lena's childhood is was full of suffering and sorrow. She never had a moment of happiness in her life. All she remembered from her childhood and was her the extreme want of food and want of shelter and clothing. In 1984, at the age of 14, she was married to an unemployed man of 28 years old. Then he go to the merit of Lena centered her husband's house with the dreams and hopes of a young girl, but in vain. It was Lena who worked for a handful of grains to feed herself. Her mother is in law and her husband when her first son was born. She was 17. The birth of a child meant another mouth of feed. From the morning till dark, Lena worked and worked. When she was 22, her third son was born. Each day became more difficult, for Lena was still struggling for herself and her family. Then she came to learn about the Grameen Bank. She became a member of the bank, took a loan, and started her own rice husking business. Gradually, she managed to improve her conditions and managed to repay and the loan she had borrowed from the Grameen Bank. In 1995, Leno took an even larger loan and started a stationery shop alongside her husking business. She went to the adult literacy center and learned to read and write. By 2000, Lena's worst days were over. She had solvency, security, and happiness. Once the rich two friends in the village, they used to steal most of the territory. People used to say that they were the living instances of true friends. Hemo is 26 years old and works as a nurse in a private clinic in Dhaka. At present, she stays in a relative's house. She has been looking for somewhere to live for about a month, so she has been unsuccessful and has been sleeping on the floor of her relative's house. Shimu's parents live in a rural area just outside Dhaka. Shimu wants to be independent. She wants to lead a life of her own. Every day she looks through the advertisement in the newspaper. She asks other staff in the clinic to help her find accommodation. She reads the newspaper Ittifaq every day and looks through the to rent and flats to share page very carefully. She has seen number of different places in different parts of Dhaka. Each time she has been disappointed for one reason or the other. Once there lived two friends in a village. They used to stay most of the time together. People used to say that they were the living instance of true friends. But one day they were passing through a forest. Suddenly a bear came out of the forest. They became afraid to the bear. One of the friends at once climbed up a tree. The other friend did not know how to climb a tree. He was sure that the bear should tear him into pieces. Suddenly he remembered that the bear does not eat a dead animal. So he lay down and on the ground just like a dead man. The bear came and smiled his body. The friend stopped breathing. The bear saw that he was dead and went away. Whisper to you, he said. The bear told me not to keep a friend who deserts you in danger, because a friend in needs is a friend needed. Anam kisah sini. Alus sefezi kisah sini Anam. Alus sefezi kisah sini Anam.
हाँ सफेदी
दे तो सही.
हमारा
Once there was an old king. He did not like physical labor. As a result, he grew bulky. He could not move from one place to another. So he called on a doctor. The doctor was very clever and experienced. He realized the cause of his difficulty. He prescribed no medicine. He only asked the king to buy a club and move it in the air until his hands got moisturized. The king began to follow the doctor's advice strictly. Ultimately, he began to grow thinner and thinner. Thus, within a month, the bulky king got cured. Once there lived an old farmer. He had two sons. They were in the habit of leading an idle life. They would never do any work. The farmer did not know how to his said and the bedside of this. Jamal is an SSC examiner. He was thus now going to be a hospital and this his is not attend from to his lessons especially to English because he is very weak in English. Moreover, he is lazy. So his preparation in English is not good. A month ago before he is in examination he managed a short suggestion for probable questions on English. On the day of examination of English he started for the examination hall a bit earlier. He entered the examination hall with a trembling heart. As usual, the bell rang at just time. The invigilator gave the scripts and the question paper to the student. Jamal took the script and the question paper. He was disappointed to see the questions because no question was common to him. He could not answer any question. He began to look at another examiners. He also disturbed them. They left felt annoyed at his behavior. The invigilator also got annoyed with him. At one stage they took this script and turned him out of the examination hall. He realized the result of his laziness. Mr. Hassan's friends are not very well off. They have a few pieces of land. They have a great hope in mind that if they can educate their only son, their evil days will come to an end and they will be able to see the light of better days in their life. So they spent all what they had on education their son. After completing his graduation, he came to Dhaka in search of a job, but he could not manage the job. He managed some private tuition and then supported himself. He could not like his for a long time. However, he saved some money. With that money, he started a small business. Fortune smiled on him. He began to make profit. Then he invested more money in his business. Thus, he brought about a change of his fortune. Once a schoolboy named Redwan was going home after completing his school. On his way home, he came across a bundle of 500 taka notes lying beside a small bush. He stopped and looked around. He found nobody coming along the way. He took up the bundle and hid it in his pocket. He again looked around and there were none of the way. He then rushed home. His father, Mr. Jalil, was reading newspaper in the living room. He from Alok switching proposal. Anything wrong, Redwan? He asked anxiously. No, father, I am all right. But look, if find a hug amount of money on my way home. Redwan took the bundle out of his father, but to his surprise. But father asked, why have you brought it home? It's not your father. I thought it must be mine because there were none on the way. I swear I looked from the owner of the money. My son, only what you earn honestly in yours. This bundle must be dropped from a passerby. You should have tried to find him out, said Redon. Father, sorry, father. I have not acted righteously. Now let's find out the actual owner. Mr. Jalil gladly said, thank you, my boy. Always remember that honesty is the best policy. Hangara hunde. Once time, once some mice were having a good time in a house. The owner of the house was very annoyed at this, so he brought a cat. The mice were very afraid of the cat. They could not move about freely. At last, they sat together in a conference to find out a way to be free from this danger. Several proposals were made, but none of the anger. However, a young mouse rose to speak before the meeting. He said, I have a good plan for your consideration. Let's tie a bell round the cat's neck. Then we will hear him coming and be able to reach ourselves in time. Thus we will be free from the cat's threat. There raised a stream of praise all over the meeting. All the mice thanked he, the young mouse, for his unique plan. But an old mouse stood up and said, no doubt the idea is good, but who will bail the cat? At this, all remained silent because they could realize the danger of implementing the unique plan. There was none to tie and the bell round the cat's neck. The mice, unbelievable, eventually migrated. Once upon a time, there lived two friends in a village. One day, they set out in a long journey on foot. They promised to help one another and to be helpful in if and when any problem arises. On the way, they had to pass through a jungle. All on a sudden, they saw a bag of gold lying on the ground. They were very glad to have the bag. There was so much gold, and meanwhile a stranger came near them. He asked what happened. They told him everything, and everyone swore by this gold that they would have the bag at any cost. From their swearing, the stranger could hear that among the three one was a Christian and Hindu and the rest a Muslim. He then hit upon a plan. Pointing to the Christian, he said, "How dare you demand the bag being Christian? Only the Muslim and Hindus are brothers, so they deserve the bag." The Hindu and the Muslim friends agree and drove the Christian friend beating severely. Now the stranger pointed to the Hindu friend and said, "You Hindus are worshipping of heathen gods. You never deserve such reward." So the Muslim friend, "You fall ill, take the bag now. You are now friendless, so you have nothing to do." The Muslim friend saw the strong stranger taking away the bag, staring at his fading figure. He thought, "We forgot our promise, so we deserve such misfortune." शामरान, हे शामरान, ये तरोडा आहे. There was an old farmer in a village. He had everything as he was a rich man, but he was not happy. He was unhappy for his sons. They were not in good relation. They used to quarrel with one another. The old man worried about this. He saw that his days were numbered. He called the son beside his bed. He asked them to bring a bundle of sticks. They were surprised still. They bought it. The old man then told his eldest son to break the bundle. She tried but failed. The five sons tried one after another, but none could break it. Then their father asked them to untie the bundle and told each of his sons to take one stick. Each of the sons took one stick. Live together, nobody can harm you. But if you are separate, anybody can harm you. So guys, thank you for your watching, and let's enjoy this gameplay and like and share and comment this video. Okay guys, thank you so much. I love this. Let's you see in next live. Okay, goodbye.